Greetings and salutations. How's it going? It's Danthol. We're back for another episode of Virtual Reality in VR. Hey, that's fun, isn't it? Anyways, yeah, it's the third week of virtual reality in VR. This is kind of like a blog. We're just talking about stuff. We're talking about virtual reality stuff. Today we have some things on the little podium. We got the Quest 3, of course. Been enjoying that. I got a copy of Xbox 360's Forza Horizon. Why is that there? That's there because I think that this is like the killer app I think VR needs. Right now, we have a game that came out for the Quest 2, and now that the Quest 3 is out, lot better game. The game we're talking about today, the thing that I've been enjoying the most this week is Grid Legends. Grid Legends is a PC and Xbox One game. I got it on Game Pass and played through it on Game Pass because I love racing games. And then when I saw it came out for the Quest 2, I was really excited and I was going to get it. And I started reading the reviews and just saying basically, the Quest 2 does not have the horsepower to run it. The Quest 3 here, oh boy, does it ever. I was doing a little bit of research and I found out that basically the Quest 2, if you just like break it down into raw numbers, how many floating point operations can it do a second? And, or is it per minute? I don't know how they measure it. Either way, when they measure it, the Quest 2 does 1.1 teraflops. The Quest 3 does 3.48 teraflops, which is interesting. So you can tell like right away, it's basically 3 times as powerful. So these Quest 2 games that may have run okay on the Quest, even without a like patch or anything like that, they run significantly better on the Quest 3. Grid Legends is one of those. Grid Legends, what was interesting about it when they put it out for the Quest 2 is they put some settings in there with reflections and bumping the resolution up to 80% or 100% or 125% for super sampling. And then having the frame rate going, I think it was from 72 all the way up to 90. So, even at the higher settings, the Quest 2 version, not great. The Quest 3 version, I have mine. I bumped it up to super sampling at the 125 with 90 frames a second and the reflections off. If you're going to play this game, don't bother with the reflections. They affect the performance so much and don't really enhance what it looks like. Anyways, at the end of the video, I'll show you some in the headset footage of the game. It's actually really cool. It's a great racing game. It's like the full PC version of the game or Xbox version of the game. So it has the story mode, and the story mode has really nice pre-filmed cutscenes with the story of your racer number 22 and all of the trials and tribulations of being on a racing team. And then they have the career mode, which is after you beat the story, and you go through the career mode as you went from a rookie to now being a real racer. And after all of that, decided to go back into Meta Horizon Worlds again. I wandered around and wanted to see what was going on. Went into the Waffle Home, which is fun. I went in there and served some waffles and some coffee and flipped some bacon and random people running around there. Hey, are you the manager of this place or whatever it was? Decided I wanted to get some more socialization instead of going into fast food restaurants, if you consider Waffle House or Waffle Home a fast food restaurant. Went over to the Soapstone Comedy Club. There wasn't any comedy going, but there was definitely people around there talking, chatting, having a good time, being rude. Got into a little bit of a confrontation in there, had some big feelings with somebody, and then somebody else wandered in and said, hey, you can't be having big feelings, you can't be saying these things, and then because the moderators are going to come in here and the moderators will have to view this, and so it's difficult because every time like you have a heated conversation, or it feels like recently a lot of the Meta Horizon world people are like, oh, the moderators are going to view this and they're going to see it. I was like, what's going on? So I left Soapstone and went to some other places. I went into Gatsby's bar and hung out with some people in there and started talking. And then somebody, a kid was running around, and then somebody else comes in and says, "Hey, there was a kid in here," which means that a moderator is going to come in and they're going to review this. So just know that anything you say is, they're recording this and they're going to play it back. And I'm like, ah. So I'm doing my thing, having a conversation with people about the Quest 3 and all of the fun stuff about the new headset. And then I get reported and somebody says, "Hey, Danthol, somebody reported you." I'm like, "What am I doing? I'm just talking." And so some guy off to the side says, "Oh, but you're kind of hogging the stage. You're talking too much." I'm like, okay. So I stopped talking and I didn't get voted out. I don't know about Meta Horizon Worlds. I think I'm going to start hanging out in VR chat more because it does seem that it's just a little bit too heavily policed there in a Meta Horizon Worlds. Aside from that, once I kind of got, feeling like I didn't want to just go find people and talk with, I figured, hey, I'm going to go find some social games. And maybe my experience will be a little bit better in a social game environment instead of something that is just a social environment. And it actually was. It was nice. I went in and played a free game called Tankards and Taverns. And it's a card game, but your cards also have tokens that you can move around, and the tokens just look like little figurines. And it's essentially Magic the Gathering. If you've ever played Magic the Gathering, it's just basically that without having land cards to tap. Each different deck has its own thing, and you play against somebody else, and you have life that drains, and you can do spells and counters and everything. So that was a lot of fun. I went into, they have, I guess, a weekly event for synth writers for people to just socially play that. So while you're playing the songs and you're hitting the notes and everything, people are singing parody versions of the song you're singing. And there's a person who's a host there that will pick the next song, and they kind of introduce it like a karaoke host would. And it's like, oh, it's the end of the night, so we're going to, do the end of the night song. And there's a song in Synth Riders that's End of the Night. And they play that and then played a little bit more socially afterwards. It was nice. I found people my age there, which was nice, just to be able to have conversations without having a bunch of squeakers running around and somebody over here, "Hey, the moderator's going to come in here and view the recording." And it's the virtual reality is a weird world to hang out in. Other than that, I've just been doing other kind of things to bring more content to the show. I enabled developer mode on my Quest 3 so that I can do some captures. I captured some footage from the Quest 2, which you'll see over here. And the way that it looks, it has a way that it displays that if you capture that video, you can actually embed it into another video because it's lined up right. But if you look at the Quest 3 is different in the way that it lays it out. It lays things out, instead of being side by side like this, it's kind of side by side like this. So when the video goes, it doesn't line up right, so you can't use it for footage afterwards. But it's kind of interesting because you can see the way that it displays and what the lenses must be doing to twist that image into the spot it does. Do you like that? I like the Quest 3 lenses are so pretty. They're so nice. I was telling somebody, it kind of, they look super clear and everything, kind of like the water in Hawaii, which, either way, I like the pancake lenses on there. So I've been doing a lot of that. I think we're going to have to stick with the camera inside of the headset footage. It does seem to be the best footage thus far. So we're going to stick with that. Anyways, one last thing before we get into the last video. The video is going to be Grid Legends. Once again, this is best if you just kind of keep your eyes forward, but it's the best way to experience what a game looks like in the headset. And I wanted to show you Grid Legends on 125 super sampling at 90 frames a second. Of course, the video is going to be 30 frames a second, but you'll get the idea.